Are we live, Salad Assassin? Are we live? Are we live-ish? We are live. Welcome to the All Even Podcast. My name is Barry Grant Jr. You can catch the show on All Even Podcast or at All Even Podcast on Instagram and X. You can listen to the show on Podbeam as well as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. I'm all over the place. You can also go to TikTok, All Even Media. Check me out over there. Page is blowing up over there. People think I'm crazy, but who cares? Go to YouTube, hit that subscribe button, like, share, and comment. Tell a friend to tell a friend because the page is definitely growing. There's no Claw. There's no Jimmy. Silent Assassin is here, though.
Yep.
What's up, bud?
Nothing much.
What'd you do this weekend?
Pretty busy. A few events. Had to take some photos and videos.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. As long as you're getting paid. Don't be doing no pro bono stuff, all right? You charge them extra. Say, okay, I got to be here late. No. I have like the off-peak and peak hours. That's how you should be charging people.
Yeah.
Off-peak and peak. If I got to travel that extra 20 minutes out of my way, you got to pay for that. Yep. You got to pay for that.
Double the price.
Yeah. My thing is this. That Father's Day is coming up Sunday, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm supposed to be working, but my employer doesn't know that I won't be. So if he listens to this, guess what? I'm already out. I'm not working. Like it's sad when you have to like work when you don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm over that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want to be one of those people who chooses to work when he wants to, not because you have to. You know, and Father's Day is going to be one of those days where you just want to sit back and enjoy being unappreciated. Being unappreciated. Having your kids have their field days and look for their mothers. They, hi, mom. You always see the athletes say, hi, mom. They don't never care about the dad. It's crazy.
Yeah. I never even realized that, but
it's sad.
Waving, hi, mom.
Yeah. I love you, mom. Where's the dad? You know what's crazy about I remember when my son was very young, took him to the doctor one day, and I was just like, well, I got to go to the bathroom in here. I got to take him to the bathroom. So I go to the bathroom. There's no changing station in the father's bathroom, in the men's bathroom. So I come out like a Karen. Hey, what's up with this bathroom here? What do you mean, sir? There's no changing station. Mm-hmm. Oh, well, there's a changing station in the other bathroom. Can I go in the other bathroom? Well, no, sir. So then what are you telling me about that for? Yeah. Fathers get no respect. The fathers bringing their kids places. They look at you like you're an alien. Oh, where's the mom? What do you mean? There is one. She's working. Okay? I'm doing this today. Is that weird?
They look at you like you stole the kid.
Yeah.
Off the street. But it's also too there are single dads in the world.
Yes.
Where you're gonna change your kid.
And none of them get respect.
Yeah, there's not always that family bathroom.
We gotta change our kids in the car.
Yeah. In
the back seat.
Yeah.
Looking like creeps. It's nuts. It's crazy. So, yeah, I mean, this is not gonna be a long show tonight. Because there's not many topics. You know, that's why, when we go ahead and have our episodes, we try to let things breathe. But guess what? This week is a little different because there's a lot going on. We got to get the news out today, and we ain't going to be recording later in the week. It is what it is. If there's breaking news, you will see my face pop up somewhere, and we'll go about it like this. But, we're going to go ahead and talk about NBA Finals between the Pacers and the Thunder. We'll discuss who has the advantage. I'll also discuss how the NBA Finals, to me, looks from just like an aesthetic outlook. Also going to talk about the Mets. We'll discuss what's going on with the Mets. We'll discuss. I have a question that I want to ask silent assassin, and also, the people that are listening and watching, they can be able to answer that question as well. Something in baseball that I feel is really, really interesting in regards to how to build a team and what you would want. What's the optimal way of building a team? Irrelevant news of the weekend. There is no dummy. I mean, if something comes up, it comes up. But that's pretty much it. I'm just going to use the
dummy
for somebody on this show, but it won't be necessarily a dummy of the week because the week just started. So, for me, one of the biggest things that has impacted me over the last 2 weeks or so is the fact that my focus is a lot better, right? So I can definitely just honestly tell you that, Magic Mind is definitely in the daily lineup now. Like, it used to not be, obviously, before I knew it was a thing, but now here we are. We're definitely here. I used to bounce between caffeine, the highs and lows with all those things, coffee, energy drinks, crashing mid-afternoon and wondering why I can't finish anything.
Yeah, it was giving productivity panic.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it's just like, bro, how do you focus? Like, I have a client, not even a client, a coworker. He drinks coffee round the clock. Like, when are you normal if you're just drinking coffee all the time? And then when you normally see him by like 1 o'clock, he's incoherent. Incoherent, you don't know what's going on. Everything is messing up at work. He gotta leave. He gotta leave and go get another one just to be able to function. I can't do that. I can't do that. So listen, Magic Mind, they reached out and they asked me if I wanted to try it. I said yes. Let's go ahead and give it a try. Before we even had a sponsorship deal. So, they maybe take their quiz. They sent over some free stuff. Sent over all of the three different options that they had, and worked a couple of days with each and figured out which one I particularly liked. So we went with that.
Which one's the winner?
The original, the OG. I like the OG. The fact that it eliminates the brain fog for me. All of that midday fogginess, it was not a thing anymore. Had enough caffeine in there to stay sharp. Keep balance and calm. The nano encapsulation makes you not have to crash right away. It gives you that sustainable caffeine, the scientific stuff, like, 3 to 4 hours, 5 hours, instead of just like crashing right off the cliff. So those are things that are really, really good about Magic Mind and how they do things.
And Jazz is on free, right?
She loves that. She's big into like the herbal stuff. So the fact that it has lion's mane in it, this one, the free, doesn't have as much caffeine. She can be able to, incorporate it into her daily life. She takes it, before she does yoga. So it's really good for her. She likes it. I'm the OG guy. I like the OG.
So there's like literally a blend for everybody.
Yeah, and it's listen. This is what I want to say too. I am not this salesy person, so this is more than just like, hey, go ahead and go buy it. Like, I'm using it, right? I'm using it so I can tell you that it actually works. I can tell you that I don't have the burnout. I don't lose focus. I don't have things like that. So it's something that I'm always telling my family, my friends, people who do use energy drinks and they have those problems. I tell them, yo, listen, try this because you might actually like this better than what you're using. So for me, it's the best to just go ahead and go to magicmind.com/alleven60. Use my promo code alleven60 and you can get 60% off your first subscription. It's the biggest offer that they have out there, and you can cancel anytime if it's not for you.
Plus money back guarantee, so you're literally trying it risk free.
Money back guarantee. Listen, anything that got money back guarantee is good. You know what I mean? If you don't like it, the people that even buy clothes and keep the tag in, and then they send it back after they go to the club. That's what's called money back guarantee. They don't know you doing that, but at least you get your money back. So all I'm saying is that go ahead and go try Magic Mind, use my promo code, and I promise you will not regret it. Stay on the grind with Magic Mind. So, do we have any off-topic conversations? Anything? Nothing?
I didn't see anything.
It's a short week.
Weekend, yeah.
It's a short week. You know, we could talk about some other stuff.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm going to stay away from that today. I'm going to stay away from it because I'm going to try something different. I'm not going to curse today.
Okay.
I'm not going to curse today. I'm going to bleep myself if I do actually curse today. I'm going to try something. So let's talk about it. NBA Finals, right? The Thunder and the Pacers, they played game 2. Thunder win the game, I think, by 16. I saw a stat that was really, really interesting. The Thunder have led for like 98 minutes of 2 games. The Pacers have led for like a little over a minute. So we're talking about a team that has dominated one other team from pillar to post, except for a 5 to 6 minute stretch where they ran out of gas. Pacers hit some clutch shots in game 1 and did their thing and ended up winning the game. But this has been a dominant performance from the Oklahoma City Thunder for 2 games. What we saw different from game 1 to game 2 for the Pacers is that Halliburton didn't have a great game. They didn't shoot particularly well from 3. So I think they shot 46% in game 1. I think they shot about 35% in game 2. You need to make sure that you're scoring points because with that defense that the Thunder play, you need to keep up offensively because they wear you down defensively. They lean on you. They push you around. They're very, very physical when they play. So you have to try to find ways to score and do that in bunches because if you don't, it's going to be a long effing night for you. And that's exactly what has happened. So for 2 games, we've seen SGA dominate. He scored 72 points in the first finals games of his career. I think that's the most points that anybody has started off for their finals debut. So for the Thunder, all systems go. Nothing shocks me. The only thing that shocks me is that I wanted them to be up 2-0. They should be up 2-0. I said Thunder in 5. I don't have a difference here. I still think that they might win in 5. It may go 6, but I can see it still going 5 because I just don't see the Pacers being able to keep up with them defensively and being physical with them. Nope. If you look at the difference in regards to the matchups, Pacers don't have an advantage at any matchup in the playoffs, in the finals against the Thunder. There's no position that they say, okay, yeah, cool. They got that one. Okay, cool. Thunder got all of them. So if you're losing the individual matchup, you're not as good defensively as they are. Yeah, like for anybody that's outside of Indiana that thinks they're going to win, it's nonsense. It's nonsense. It's the only people that are in Podunk, Indiana that think they're going to win this series. No chance. No chance. And here's another thing, too. The ratings. I know like people like to talk about, don't talk about the ratings. If you're a basketball, if you love ball, just watch the finals. No, I will not. Because it's about the ratings for me. It's about big markets. Big markets drive the ratings. You know what this reminds me of, Silent Assassin? This reminds me of the Texas Rangers and the D-backs in the World Series. Don't nobody care. Don't nobody care.
No one watched that.
No one watched it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Rangers won the damn World Series, and by 2 hours later, nobody cared. Yeah. Nobody cared.
I just like not even just saying like I sometimes like forget that
exactly. Yeah. It's just it's sad, but that's just the way it is. Big markets. This is why I truly believe that this whole parity situation in basketball, it don't work for the NBA, man. NBA is driven by big markets and dynasties. Don't be trying to have one champion every damn year, because we've had that since 2018. There's been no repeat champion since 2018 in the NBA. We're going on 7 years now. It's nonsense. Where are the dynasties? Where are the great teams that are building and continuously dominate? That's what we want. We want a villain. We want somebody to boo and cheer.
Is that the only, I think so, like from what comes to my mind, of like the only like major sport where it doesn't have that? Like within like recent years?
Yeah, I mean, well, baseball really hasn't had a dynasty, right? Since the Giants won
a bunch.
3 in like a 6 or 7 year span.
Yeah. But you think if even the Dodgers and the Astros have been in the World Series how many times?
Right.
Too, like,
right.
I feel like it was every other year the Astros were in it.
Yeah.
So, and they only won they won 2 in that span, but just seeing like I guess a team in it every single year.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's a fair point. It's one of those things where I like the dynasties, and I'm not trying to have an NBA that has this parity where the Charlotte Hornets can get to the final. I don't want that. I don't want it. I'm just telling you right now. I'm not gonna watch it. I'm not gonna watch that crap. I want Knicks, Lakers, Celtics, Golden State, Bulls, all of these other. I don't need no podunk Charlotte in the NBA Finals. Indiana Pacers. Who cares? You know the last time the Pacers were in the finals, why people watched it? Because they went against the damn Lakers. That's why. Kobe, Shaq. You know what I mean? That's why people liked it.
Like going for like to watch like the stars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You seeing the stars come out. They want the Lakers to win. Don't want nobody to care about this. It's good basketball. I'm not gonna say that. I will never knock that. It's good basketball. But come on now. The other thing that I want to talk about in regards to the finals is that when did the NBA get so damn cheap when it comes to their presentation of the NBA finals? Growing up, the NBA finals was a big thing. Like, you'd have the narration video by Bob Costas, right? Him talking about the Bulls and all this other stuff and the Lakers, and there was this nice montage video, nice video package that they put together. Where is that? The finals, the court itself used to be. They used to paint the NBA Finals Larry O'Brien trophy in the middle of the court, so it felt like an NBA final, right? You had trophies everywhere, it just felt like there was something important happening. I look at the damn NBA, I'm like, what is this? This is not conference finals. This is it. Where are the pomp and circumstance? Where are the balloons? What's happening? It just doesn't feel like a final. I don't know what happened. I just don't know what happened to basketball. Well, even when you play NBA 2K in the first game of the NBA Finals, right? They have this big presentation where they have the video is on the court. So it looks like the video is coming through the court, or it just looks like a hologram. It's great. It's fantastic. You don't even get that in real life, but you get it in the game. I don't understand. I just don't understand why it's like you're trying to, it's like he's trying to like prove a point. Oh, well, we want to focus on the basketball. We don't need all. You know, the reason why the Super Bowl is so great is because we got all this crap outside of the game. You know what I mean? They got the planes flying over. They got all the pyro techniques are going off. They got the halftime show. All of these things are going on. It's not just the game. It's all that encompasses the Super Bowl event. There needs to be more around the game, more media coverage. Have like a NBA Finals media day, something where it just feels like something's important. You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't feel like an in-season tournament game.
It's just not like just like a regular game. It's like a whole event.
Right. Make it a whole event. I know it's 7 games. I get it. But there got to be something better that they can do to be able to draw the interest into the game, because maybe that's the problem. Maybe the fact that you're not drawing that interest. And it's the same thing with baseball too. Like, I think that there should be a World Series media day. I don't even know if they have stuff like that. I don't know if it's really official. I know that they cover things, but I don't never think that it's like this big to do. You know what I mean?
I feel like for baseball, it feels like something like important, like an event, if you're there.
Right.
If you're watching it on TV, it's not like you're not getting all that extra behind the scenes like, coverage and all. Like if you go to a playoff game,
oh, you feel it.
It's there.
Yeah, you feel the intensity.
And then you see like the broadcasters there live in the parking lot talking before the game. All the fans are hyped, but on the TV,
it doesn't translate.
No, you're not getting the same vibe. Like you have to be there, so that's hard to get. Obviously, interest in people to watch.
Right.
There's only so many people going to the game. So, but I was watching some of the finals and stuff. And it just. For me, I guess, because also I'm not a basketball fan, I guess, to say. Like, I just feel like it's another thing.
You would be the perfect example for this, right? You're somebody who's coming from the outside and is like, you know what? Let me give this a shot just because, my homies always talking about basketball. Let me go ahead and see what's up. Yeah. If there was some pop in circumstance, you'd be like, oh, so this is what the finals look like. It's actually pretty cool. Like, they have a lot of things going on. Like, what would be dope if, and I know they do this at times, but I wish that they would show more classic NBA Finals moments during the broadcast, during what's going on, so it feels historic. Right?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, because now somebody like you who's coming from the outside who has no background in basketball, like, that happened. Oh, that's great. Oh, this finals moment. Like, all of these things would make it just better to me. And I don't know. I think they're missing the ball with this. And it's gonna probably go down as one of the lowest, if not the lowest rated NBA Finals of all time. And if Adam Silver thinks that that's great, then you know what I think about that.
Dummy, yeah.
It's just, it is what it is. Moving on. I saw a rumor. And sometimes, like I said, I'm like an old witch. What did I say? Was it last week or the week before? I said that the Knicks should be looking at Jason Kidd. Said if you want to go all in, might want to go see if you can go talk to Jason Kidd. Well, guess what the Knicks did? They said, I think we were going to talk to that Kidd guy. So they had plans to, because Jason Kidd is the head coach of the Dallas Mavericks right now, so he's not free. So the way it works is that when a coach is under contract for another team, you have to request permission to speak to that coach. And the team doesn't have to grant you that permission. They can deny it. There is rumor out there, and multiple people have confirmed this, that Jason Kidd and the Knicks have mutual interest. And I can understand why there's mutual interest, because Jason Kidd wants out of Dallas. Not having Luka there and being the spokesperson for the Dallas Mavericks when the Luka trade happened, he had to be co-signing everything Nico Harrison was saying. He had to be there in front of cameras and try to put on a face and do this PR thing, while inside he's probably like, why the F am I here? Like, get me out of here. Like, I'm trying to just coach my team and try to just go through the motions and just finish this season. Like, you took my best player. The reason why I wanted to come here was because of that guy, not because of the guy that you got. No offense, but I wanted to coach that guy. The last time that he was forced out of a situation that he didn't want to be forced out of was in Milwaukee. You know what happened in Milwaukee those years, Silent Assassin? You don't know, but I'll tell you. There was a young guy named Giannis Antetokounmpo who did not have much direction back then. He was getting good, right? But guess what Jason Kidd decided to do? Jason Kidd said, well, I don't have another point guard really on this roster. So guess what I'm going to do, Giannis? The ball's in your hands. He was the one that put the ball in Giannis's hands. Just like how he kind of helped Luka be able to find his way as a really gifted passer that Luka is, but having one of the greatest passers of all time doesn't hurt either, to be able to show you a few things. And when Jason Kidd got let go from Milwaukee, you know who was really upset about that? Giannis Antetokounmpo. So, because my brain works in a different way than everybody else's, and they love to say, oh, well, you don't know you're not an insider. I don't need to be. I just see the way things work. See how people speak and how the things start to go into place. And I say, you know what? With all my basketball knowledge, I think that this particular thing should possibly happen. And I have a pretty good track record of that. So, yeah. So if the Knicks are trying to go big game hunting for Greek yogurt, wouldn't it behoove them to go get the guy that he really likes? And Jason Kidd really likes New York too, because he kind of, led the charge to 2 NBA finals when he was with the New Jersey Nets. He actually played with the New York Knicks in their first 50-win season in a very long time when he was here. Carmelo was here, and they had the veteran team that made a run in the playoffs, but they lost to those same Pacers in Game 6. So, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. If they can be able to make that deal happen, I don't think they have to give up any first-round compensation. I think a couple of second-round picks, they'd be able to get it done if they have any. I don't know what the Knicks picks look like, but if Dallas is smart, Dallas is trying to capitalize on Anthony Davis's window, trying to see if they can be able to put this team together. But maybe Jason Kidd is not the guy for them. Maybe you swap coaches. Go get Tom Thibodeau. That might work. Go get somebody else. Go hire in-house. But if Jason Kidd feels like his window of opportunity is more suited with the Knicks, then he might need to go to management, go to Dallas, go to Nico and says, I would like to go. And, whatever draft compensation you need, go get it. But I think it's better that I go or I'm just going to resign. So it's either you get something for me, I'm just going to walk. Because I would rather be in a situation that I like rather than be held somewhere that I don't want to be. So that's a big thing. So if the Knicks can be able to get that done, that'd be huge. I'm not a Knicks fan, but you have to see where the trends are leading. And Giannis hasn't made a decision yet, but all roads point to possible New York, which would be cool. The city they'll be happy. I don't hate the Knicks. I despise some Knicks fans, but I don't hate the Knicks. I grew up appreciating the Knicks. Patrick Ewing is one of my favorite players of all time. I remember when they got to the finals. I rooted for Pat. They lost. But I rooted for Pat. So I don't hate the Knicks. I just feel that their fans sometimes are just incorrigible and very annoying. Moving on. Remember when I talked about the Phoenix Suns a while back? And I said that Matt Ishbia probably has to be one of the stupidest owners I've ever seen in modern history when it comes to sports. Like, it's not just basketball. He's an idiot when it comes. Very smart tech guy, made a lot of money in Silicon Valley. You're great. That don't mean nothing. See, that's what a lot of people don't realize, is that just because you have money or you have experience in some other field and you come into sport, you think that you can be able to do the same thing. No, it's not the way sport works. You should say, I have no idea what I'm doing because I'm a dummy. Yeah. I need to go hire people that know exactly how to be able to put this thing together. And because I'm the owner, I'm always going to take credit for it anyway. So I was like, yeah, I hired that guy and he's good. Why do you need to come into a situation and try to spearhead it like you know how to build something? You don't. If I get into money and I say, I want to go buy this oil company or oil rig company, I'm going to go in there and say, hey, listen, I know I just bought this thing, but this is what we're going to do now. Oh, I'm buying it and I'm keeping the people in charge to run it. We're just going to collect the money over here. I don't need to put my force down. I don't know what the hell I'm doing yet. So I got to trust people, put them in the right positions, and let them build the thing. That's it. Well, remember what I told you? They have no draft picks. They have no capital. I don't know what they're going to have to do, but they have to tear it down. That's what I said. That they're the worst team in the NBA because of the talent that they have and the person that they have in charge. Well, rumor has it, they're tearing it down. Oh, who knew? Who knew that this would happen? Oh, really? So Kevin Durant, he's going to be out the door. We knew that was going to happen. Bradley Beal, if they can find anybody to take him, somebody to take a gym bag over his contract. But if they can find a solution to be able to move him, great. I don't know if Devin Booker wants to be moved. Now, I don't necessarily know if they want to move him, but it might benefit them to move all three of them and just start from scratch. Because it's better to get the draft picks. You're in Phoenix. Nobody cares about Phoenix. So you can be able to just build this thing without the pressures of having these Hall of Fame or superstar players on your roster. You could just build it up with the young guys and see if you can create the next star in Phoenix. That's the way to go, because Phoenix Suns fans, oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. Oh, great, yeah. Huh? They've had a lot of great players in their history. Charles Barkley, Kevin Johnson, there's been a lot of people that have gone through Phoenix, but they don't stay. There's a reason for that. Because it's Phoenix. No one cares. Let's not fool ourselves like in football, right? We got the resurgence of the Detroit Lions. At the end of the day, it's the Lions. So we don't expect much. If they win, cool. But if they go right back into obscurity, we're okay. Because you know why? It's the Lions. That's why. And there's certain franchises that are just like that. Just like the Miami Marlins in baseball. Don't nobody care about them. They got just as much World Series as New York Mets. But you know who cares? No one. No one. Not even the people that own the Marlins care. Because when they won the World Series in 97, you know what they did? They blew it up. You know what they did when they won the World Series in 03? They blew it up again. Because they don't care. They won the championship by accident. They said, oh, it's July. We're 25 games over 500. How did this happen? What? Oh, we have all of these good players? When did we get them? Who knew? Okay, cool. Let's just ride this out. Let's see what happens. And then all of a sudden, they win the World Series. Oh, crap. We got to pay these guys, right? No. Get them all out of here. Get them all out. Gary Sheffield, get them all out. Certain teams are just always going to be bad. And we're okay with that. That's Phoenix. So they need to find a way to get these draft picks, find a way to replenish the cabinet, try to see if you can get as much young players as possible. Get some G League guys in here. Give some guys a chance. Hire a young coach, right? And go from there. I think they hired somebody already. But, that's the way to go, is that to just tear it down to the bare bones, to the foundation of it, and just build it up slowly, because there is no expectation. And honestly, sometimes that's the best way to go, is to not have any expectation. Because if there's no expectation from the front office, if there's no expectation from the media, if there's no expectation from the fans, now you can be able to be in a space where you can experiment and try different things without necessarily having to answer to a fan base and say, hey, we're trying to win. No, we ain't trying to win right now. We ain't trying to win right now. We just trying to figure it out. And the fans will accept that. As long as you tell them the truth, they can accept it. So, that's how I see in regards to Phoenix. So we'll see what happens with that. It's another rumor out there. And this one may get me excited, because I did say this as well. There is a rumor out there, Silent Assassin, that Giannis is very, very intrigued with the Lakers. And I know how it's going to happen, because there's only one path. It's just like I tell you the whole time. Like, when Doctor Strange went through his head, he had that one path. And Tony Stark said, all right, that's what I got to do. There's one path that Giannis gets to the Lakers, and he has to demand a trade to them. If he says, Milwaukee, I love you. I love the fans. I love the organization. I love what you have done for me. But now it's time for y'all to do me a solid. Send me to the Lakers. And whatever you do, I'm not going anywhere else. So it's either you send me there, or it's about to get ugly. Now, if that happens, that might be one of the craziest shows that has ever happened in the All Even studio. That's going to be a big one. That's going to be a big one. If I get Giannis on the Lakers this summer, just pack it up. Pack it up. Because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if we win, lose. I just know that I got Luka and Giannis. I'll be fine with that. LeBron can play if he wants to. We don't even care, right? We love him, but he's old. So we get those two guys, we'll be fine. So that's a rumor out there. We'll see what happens. I don't know if there's going to be much that materializes from that, because it's such a far-fetched scenario that everything has to align. So we'll see what happens. With the Lakers, there's definitely a lot of question marks that they have to answer. They have to go ahead and solve those. They need shooting guards. They need wing help. They need a big man. We'll see exactly what happens if they're going to trade Dalton Connect. There's rumors that Walker Kessler from the Utah Jazz is going to be available via trade. Are they going to try to pull a trade for him, put Dalton Connect in the deal with a first-round pick to get him over here? One of the best young shot blockers in the league. So we'll figure that out, see what happens there. But that big fish, if Giannis comes, oh boy, can't wait. Staying on the Lakers, LeBron James was on his Mind the Game podcast with Steve Nash and Luka Doncic. They had an episode where they're talking about, youth sports, youth basketball, how you can be able to improve it. And LeBron said that, there's so many kids and people that say that he has no bag, and it's crazy to even think that he doesn't have a bag and yet he has over 50,000 points in the NBA. And my biggest thing is this with the newer generation. Especially I see it where, in regards to how the trainers train these kids, how the coaches coach these kids, and how the parents actually formulate their plan or their strategy for their children to play basketball. And it's always the same thing. It's this: you have to dribble, you have to have tight handles. It doesn't matter if you're 6'3" or you're 6'11. You need to have the same type of bag. You got to make sure that you have all of these moves and these counter moves and all this other stuff. No, you don't. Go look at Tyrese Halliburton and see what type of bag he has. Doesn't have one. Tyrese Halliburton gets to a spot and he rises once he gets to that spot. LeBron James doesn't really have a bag. He's 6'8", 275 pounds. Doesn't need a bag when you're that athletic and that big. You can just go by people to the basket. You don't need a bag. So that's where I see that the young guys, the young kids have fallen into this deep hole of just irrelevant nonsense when it comes to development. You need footwork. Now, these kids out here that dribble, they got a bag. It's about footwork. It's about skill. Let's not even try to sugarcoat that. It's a skill thing that they do have. But what about learning how to finish at the rim? Learning how to have touch around the rim? Learning how to play defense and slide your feet? All of these things take dedication and practice and time. But yeah, you're focused on these offensive moves and counter moves. Yeah, it can get you, to be a great offensive player at some point in your career if you do get to that point. But what about the rest of your game? You can be able to dribble and knock this dude out and cross this guy up, but can you finish at the rim? Do you have body control like a Kyrie Irving, be able to finish at the rim when you do get by somebody? So all of these things is that they need to realize that there's more to basketball than just having one of the best yo-yos out there. There's more than that. And if a guy like LeBron James can show you how easy it was, not easy, but in regards to just him having a singular focus of how to be able to get to the rim, using your angles, using your defender's aggressiveness or lack of aggressiveness against them to be able to get to your spot. That's the game. It's not about always trying to break 10 people down. That's not the game. Most guys that are great basketball players in the history of the NBA don't have bags. So please, young people, start watching some real old school tape. Not to play like those guys, but just to get an understanding of you don't need these impossible handles to be able to get to the next level and to be effective at the next level. You need those fundamentals. You need those root development traits and those root abilities to be able to be good. Because when your physical starts to erode, when the speed starts to go away, when the athleticism starts to go away, when your hand-eye coordination starts to drop a bit and you don't have that bag to turn to, it's those fundies that you turn to. It's the knowledge that you turn to. So always remember that. That's a very, very important part of the game. Now it's time for irrelevant news of the week.
You gotta be kidding me. I mean, how do you watch the... I mean, yeah, they stink.
Let's see what we got. We don't have much. But whatever we do have, we will talk. People who repeatedly watch the same movies and shows are emotionally intelligent, study says. I side with this. There's a reason why I have a high IQ because I do watch and rewatch my favorite shows. I do. Every year I go ahead and rewatch Sons of Anarchy. My favorite movie of all time is Forrest Gump. I will continue. No matter where it is, it can be at the very end, beginning, middle. I have to sit down and watch it. I just have to. I love rewatching shows because the thing is, for me, how I think about when I rewatch a show, it's more about what did I miss, right? Like if I watch a movie like Inception, right? There's so much going on. Sometimes you miss things, even when you're paying attention. So if you rewatch something, it's kind of like reading a book. You can read a book one time and have a different level of imagination of how you're envisioning this story. Read it again and have that same mindset, but then there's another like level of consciousness that you go to and says, oh, now I'm combining this with that. Now this story makes a lot more sense. You keep doing it, you find little subplots where your brain starts to go to now and start to link certain characters together. That's where your brain is this muscle where you have to work it out. It's kind of just like going to the gym. Your brain is the same way. So if you're rewatching something and you're trying to learn more from that thing that you're watching, you're actually strengthening your brain muscles. So yeah, makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, even like I stopped rewatching and I have to continue, but a couple months ago I started to rewatch Game of Thrones.
Nice.
And now like going back to the early seasons and seeing those little pieces that come together in the end.
It all makes sense.
It's all like,
yeah.
I'm like, oh, this is like they said this in this moment on episode 8 of season 1, and then it comes back, you know, in like season 5, like they mentioned again, and it's just like it's more enjoyable to watch. Also, like knowing what happened, because then like you pick up on those little things.
Yeah.
And definitely with movies too. Like I love to rewatch a movie after watching. And even like I'll talk to people about it or see what the internet like on Reddit has to say about the movie, and I'm like, oh, like that's interesting. I'll rewatch it and then even get and see more into other people's takes. So
yeah. It's a thing, man. It's a thing. It's definitely a thing. Like, you know, I rented Sinners, you know, over the weekend. Yeah, I'm gonna watch it again. I have to, because it's just little intricate things that is like, man, that was good. That was good. You know, so I am fully on board with this, and I sent this to my homeboy. He was like, so yeah, I can see why you are the way you are, because you lock in. I said, yeah, it's about focusing and understanding what's happening. So yeah, makes a lot of sense. This one is funny. Farting helps reduce high blood pressure and is good for the health, according to whoever. Right? I'm sure the person who wrote this study is probably a flatulent person and just brought this up out of his ass, literally. Says, turns out passing gas isn't just natural. It might also be beneficial. Supports overall health. While it might sound funny, this bodily function plays a key role in maintaining a healthy digestive system and reducing bloating. Yeah, so, you know, I had a family member. As a kid, I never understood how somebody can fart as long as this family member could. Like, it was like 10 seconds. Like, what type of things are you eating? What type of air do you have? Like, I'm talking about like somebody's having a conversation with you about anything, and it's just going while the person is speaking.
Oh, that's crazy.
And like, how do you expect me to focus on what you're telling me So now you think I'm this like insubordinate child when I'm just literally trying to understand what happened.
Yeah.
What's happening at this point? You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, look, some people are very flatulent. Could you be with somebody who just farts all the time? Doesn't have to stink. It's just like they just fart all the time.
I feel like I would definitely kind of get like annoyed. It depends the situation.
You would have to really like that person. Yeah.
Because if you were like mentioning with your family member, if we're just casually talking and then it's happening during the conversation, I'll be like really?
Like, could you
what?
imagine you having like a serious, even an argument, right? And then the person's like, "Yo, I'm trying to tell you," and
Yeah, it's like really, like you had to do that now. So yeah, just like it depends the situation, I guess. So
yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
I found that extremely funny because I have multiple people in my life that they have this problem. So, it's extremely funny. This right here, mom faces backlash for how she celebrated her son's first birthday. So if you're not looking at this video, there's this 1-year-old child who is at a table. I guess he's in his high chair. And there's a cake. And there's a candle. And in the back, you see his
Dummy. Yeah.
mother in the back twerking. So he doesn't know what's going on because he's 1. And all of a sudden you see her twerking on his back. I don't like to judge. I don't. And I'm sure it was all in good fun, but the part that bothered me wasn't even the twerking. How you gonna leave a baby by the damn table with a candle? It's a baby. So the first thing you're gonna see is like, oh, fire, hot. Why you twerking in the back?
And like over like something so stupid could turn into obviously a serious situation.
Yeah.
And kids are so quick, like you turn your back for a second and they got like
It's
a
a
knife in
wrap.
their hands.
Exactly.
And pulling stuff too. So it's also too, it's like it's the kid's moment. It's his first birthday. And you're gonna have this on video.
He will forever be scarred.
Yeah.
Like, yo, ma, you got my first I would love to see like my first birthday pictures. You have any pictures? Oh no, son, there's no pictures. The lens and the stuff got burned. I was so heartbroken. All right, cool. That's fine. And then somebody says, yo, that's your mom in the back of this video here. Yeah, we found this in like some crazy archive. Like, Ma, I thought you said you lost it. That's my first birthday? You twerking on my neck? You got your butt cheeks on your you got your butt cheeks on your kid's neck. What are you doing? It's just, I don't know what's up with this generation. I'm glad I'm not out there having to deal with any of these people.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's crazy.
It's a wild, wild west. I don't envy you, Silent Assassin. I don't. I am okay being the old guy that's out of touch. I'm all right with that because I don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't get a lot of it. And that's all right. I am okay with being the old guy that knows nothing what's happening. That is my irrelevant news. Oh, you know what?
You gotta be kidding
No,
me. I mean,
have one
how do
more.
you watch the? I mean, yeah, they stink.
I saw this video of this guy that said he hated his wife. And I laughed so hard at the video because I don't know if he's trolling or really serious, but he was like, yo, the only reason why I'm with my wife is because I'm too lazy to better myself. I'm too lazy to actually go out there and go work another, high-paying job. She makes more money than I do. So I'm just going to sit here and just enjoy the fruits of her labor while I just live this very bland life. And I hate going inside my house. So I sit in my car for like an hour and a half before I actually go inside. I'm just like, what kind of life is that? Like, I understand that, okay, cool, she may not be like your soulmate or whatever it is, but why would you want to stay with anybody just for like comfort? I don't understand that. Like, for me, you gotta want to be around somebody. And for me, it's like, all right, when you meet somebody and you guys are going through the honeymoon phase and everything, no matter what that person says, it's so adorable and all that stuff. And then your relationship goes to another level. And then, you eventually possibly get married. I can tell you that those feelings of like utter joy are not always there, right? But what happens is that you grow to have this different appreciation of your partner, like you just being in the same space as them. You don't even have to speak, but it just feels nice, right? Sitting there watching a show and you guys are laughing and giggling, or they're telling you about, hey, I just bought these new curtain rods. And you're like, oh, show me these curtain rods. This is great, right? So you find different things to be able to make you love somebody, right? Because you enjoy being with them. I could never think about not enjoying my partner's space all because I just want to stay here for the comfort. Like, that is a different level of fraud that you're playing. Like you're not living, you're living a lie. Your entire existence is a lie. Now, if you were old, like 89 years old and had a lot of money, now we're talking. Like, I can be able to sit there and be comfortable. Yeah. Nobody want to touch your wrinkly behind, but there's like $6 billion here. There's a lot riding on this. So yes, I will rub you down with Bengay if that's what you wanted, right? But I don't have to be happy about it. That's different.
Yeah, that one reminds me of like Melania Trump.
Yes.
She's just there
Yes.
for riding on Air Force One, being in the White House when she wants nothing to do.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I mean, think about it, right? It's one of those things where she's like, yo, this dude, if he eats another Big Mac, I am going to throw up. And I don't even know if she has to do her wife duties anymore. I doubt it. I doubt that those things have stopped pretty long now, maybe. He probably has somebody in that does what they have to do, and she's just like, at that point, she's okay with it. But that's where it's like you're living this lie. Like, you're doing this all for the look and the comfort. That's just, to me, it's a different level of like sociopath that does that. I can't.
Because it's like, at least like for me, it's hard to like, if I don't like you, like, like I know, like it's hard for me to hide like those feelings and stuff. So even like for the other person, like to be with someone so miserable, like I'm sure they don't want to be in that situation.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, unless you're a great actor, there's gonna be times where that face is not on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where the mask is, and you look like, oh, why are you looking at me like that? We're looking at you like what? Oh God! Like you had the knife in your hand in the kitchen, and you had this sadistic look on your face. Oh, it's fine. Let's think about a movie. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
It's just it's a level of weird that I would never understand. Now, listen, the only way that I'm gonna condone this for you, just make sure that you find a way to find out where Ronnie Mauricio is, right? find out where he is. And I say, hey, Ronnie. Silent assassin. Which means that I now can get, season tickets. I can be down in the press box. I can be all over the place and say, hey, why am I here? That's the only way I'm going to condone this, okay? Your happiness means nothing to me. It's about what I can what I can be able to get out of the situation, right? We don't care about your happiness. Deal with it. Deal with it. Take one for the team. That's how we think about things. But it's just I can't get it. I don't understand. Moving on. Let's talk about the best team in baseball, shall we? Let's talk about them. Mm-hmm. They damn Dodgers. I talked about it last week. Screw the Dodgers. We hate them. We should have swept their asses, right? And we went to Colorado and beat the hell out of them. Beat the hell out of them the way we were supposed to. And Pete Alonso, I got to give the man credit. The man he's on a mission to help this team. He's on a mission to be able to get his money. And I respect it. I respect it because I see a difference in approach. I see that he's taken time to be able to understand that, he wasn't seeing the ball properly. I think he went away from his fundies and just said, I'm the biggest power bat in the game. I can just use my power and I don't need to do anything else. And he got away from being a gap-to-gap hitter. He got away from the doubles. He got away from, working a good count. He started swinging at really, really bad pitches, all because he thought that if I just make contact, I can be able to drive it out of the ballpark. And you have to take some level of accountability to know, one, you didn't have a big market in free agency. Why? Because everybody thought that you were on decline, right? So now you have to change things and humble yourself and say, hey, I need to take accountability to know that I need to be better. And if I'm better and my production is there, there's no reason why other teams won't try to get into the race to bid for me. Although I might want to be in New York, if there is a bidding war here, then it's about where I feel comfortable at that point. But if there's no bidding war, now I'm pigeonholing myself into a situation that I have to prove it. And he's had to prove it. He's done well. I think he leads the major leagues in RBIs right now. 17 home runs. He was just named the player of the week. So, shouts to Pete, man. He's doing his thing. He's carrying us. I think the switch back for him going back to the cleanup spot has really, really worked well for him. So shouts to Mendy for doing that. So shouts to Pete Alonso getting it done. What are your thoughts on this, Silent Assassin? Because I know that Pete is your guy, and definitely want to hear what you think about this.
Yeah, I'm definitely, I wanted him to come back, even despite his struggles the last few seasons.
Yeah.
So obviously I'm really, really happy to see how well he's doing, and he's deserving of his money and what's to come. Obviously we don't know what's going to happen the remainder of the season, but he's really putting in the work. I know over the off season, all the videos I was seeing of him training and working with a new kind of hitting coach, like a private hitting coach he had hired, just really every single day there was a new video of him training, trying to get back to his earlier days of being in the league. So contract-wise, now he's going to be 31, I believe,
yeah.
season.
He's turning 31 in December.
Yeah.
So next year will be his age 31 season.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting to see what type of contract that he does get, just because, he's having such a great year. This could be a career year, and then, does it hold up going forward? So I know we were talking about it a little bit in text, saying kind of front load the contract, and then towards the end of the last couple of years, kind of more team friendly deal.
Yeah, let's just have the conversation, right? I'm not going over $32 million a year. Like, he can have that, right? He got his 30 right now. I was mad about that. He can get $2 more million on top of that. Give him 32 a year for 5 years. Give him an option for a sixth. And give him the bulk of the money up front, because obviously you're going to have his most productive years age 31, age 32, age 33. So give him the bulk of his money then, and then you get very team friendly as he gets to mid 30s, late 30s. I'm okay with that. So I'm okay with that type of structure, but it really depends on obviously what his market dictates, right? If there's no market for him, now the Mets are right back where they were before in regards to bidding against themselves. So if you're bidding against yourself, there's no reason to rush, right? But if there is a market for him and you really want this player back, 1, because he's productive, 2, because the fans love him, 3, because he's a legit homegrown talent and you want somebody that's literally going to be tops in every particular statistical category that offensively your franchise has to offer. You want a guy that's like, this is our guy. Mike Piazza is one of the most beloved Mets of all time, but he wasn't a homegrown guy. You know, you had Strawberry, who was a homegrown guy who didn't stay around. David Wright, homegrown guy that got hurt and couldn't extend his career, right? He was on a Hall of Fame trajectory until he got hurt. So you have these guys. Carlos Beltran, right? He was a free agent. You want guys that are going to be able to get drafted here, stay here, develop as superstars, and end up retiring here. That's what you want to see with Pete. And, you know, I fought it for a long time because it's all about the dollars and cents for me. I don't believe in paying first baseman big money going forward. But sometimes there is exceptions to the rule, right? Sometimes, like, it's a perfect marriage to have a guy who's embraced your franchise, who the fans have embraced, the city has embraced, and it just works. So if you can be able to find a number that both parties are comfortable with, why the hell not? Go ahead and keep him for as long as he can be productive and go from there, because it's better to have the vibe of a guy that wants to be here, that has thrived here, and wants to continue to develop here. Why the hell not? What? No more than 33 million, because if Vladdy is getting 35 and a half, 36, there's no way Pete's getting more than that. It's not happening. It's not happening. So if he thinks that that's going to happen, it's not going to happen. And if it does happen, it ain't going to happen in Queens. It ain't going to happen in Queens. So that's what I'm saying. Like, is there a cutoff for you, Silent Assassin? You don't care. Because obviously it's not your money. I get it. But is there like, that's a little bit too much. I don't like that.
I think, like, I always, like, kind of said, if it takes away too much for getting players that we, like, holes that we need to fill in other places, then that's, like, kind of my bigger concern. If, say, we give Pete $40 million a year, whatever it is, but we need, like, a starting pitcher. Now we can't get that starting pitcher, so
right.
We kind of have to find someone in AAA, whatever, that's not really ready, you know, whatever the case may be. Then I'm like, okay, we have to make, like, this team whole. And, you know, it's not one person that wins championships. It's the whole team. So
correct.
We have to, you know, figure that out, especially, too, when you have 2 mega contracts already on your team. Can you afford a third mega contract? So, you know, we'll see. You know, I would maybe mid-30s, 35, depending on the years. You know, like I said, it depends how the season plays out, because I feel like in the moment, offensive players in the NL, he's, you know, right up there with Pete Crow Armstrong.
Yeah.
So he's a MVP, like, front runner right now, like 1 or 2.
Mm-hmm.
So if he wins the MVP, you know, I'm kind of like, okay.
No, price goes up at that point.
You know, so just have to see how, I think the rest of the season plays out, because he could have a horrible
second half.
Like, obviously, not calling for that, but you never know. So.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely have to see how it plays out, man. I agree with you. If it takes away from being able to have a strong roster build, then of course. We'd never have to worry about that with David Stearns because that dude knows what he's doing. Here's the other part of it now. I gave Pete his flowers, but I'm upset. Angry. There was a point in that game, the last game against the Rockies, where I was visibly upset. And I had to catch myself. Like, what's wrong with you, man? It's a great game. But I felt dread during that game. When he passed David Wright for second all time on a home run list, I didn't like it. I didn't like it. Yeah, I was like, I'm there and I'm just like, pass my guy. Pass the captain. It just hurt, right? It hurt the fact that it's like David, who gave his all to this franchise, is now being passed, and he's going to continue to get passed to the point where he just continues to get knocked down the pole. Like, you know, if Soto continues to, if he plays here for 15 years, Soto is going to be top 3 all time with Met home runs, right? Same thing with Lindor. Lindor is going to finish in the top 5 in home runs. If you have a guy like Vientos, he's going to finish in the top 5. Like, so now you have all of these players that are just going to continue to knock David Wright down, and it bothered me. It did. I'll admit it. There was a little beside I was like, this is crap. But then I saw the video, you know, that I think he had recorded this maybe before the season, and I said, it just takes a class act like David to do this and make me feel better about Pete passing him. You know, it's a great achievement. The fact that we've had so many good players in our history, and we talked about this before. Like, we don't have any player that has had more than 250 plus home runs all time.
Yeah.
Like, how many home runs did Piazza hit as a Met? I have to go ahead and look that up. It's just crazy because you think that he hit so many home runs in a Met uniform, and he really didn't. He hit a lot, but he didn't hit that many. Now I'm curious.
I mean, but even like for Pete, it's only been a couple of years, and he's already you know, number 2. So
I think the stat they said was he did it in 500 less games than David Wright did.
Oh wow, yeah, that's crazy.
That's insane.
For Strawberry, I think there's like a pretty big gap as well. I was looking at it a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like just the games or at bats. Pete's obviously crushing it.
So you want to know how many home runs Mike Piazza hit in the Met uniform? Take a guess. 8 years.
8 years. Maybe like 170. I'm going low. Like
Not bad. It's not bad. He actually did that with the Dodgers.
Okay.
177 with the Dodgers. He hit 220 with the Mets. So Mike Piazza's up there.
Yeah.
He's up there. Right? So it's amazing, man, how you can have certain guys that just, for me, it just felt it was great, but then it was just like a sad thing. Like, damn, man, like what could have been with David? Like, David could have been 400 home runs, 400 doubles, 1,400 RBIs, 290 at batting average career. Maybe, what is his all-time OPS? Maybe 850, and in the Hall of Fame. You know, I like the fact that Jersey retired with us. Great, but that guy was a Hall of Famer, man. Like he just had Hall of Fame written all over him. It just sucks.
And he was like, when he was like really young too, like putting up crazy numbers.
Yeah.
So to be like consistent with that, it's just like
Yeah.
To see like what it could have been. Yeah.
When it was Shea Stadium and he was hitting 35, he was hitting 35 and 100 every damn year for a little bit. And then they said, oh, you know what we're going to do? We're going to just tear this down and we're going to build Yellowstone National Park. So, all of those home runs that you hit, don't worry about it. This is why I hate the Wilpons so much.
Yeah.
This is why I hate them.
That original City Field was crazy.
Horrible.
Yeah.
I remember when I got there, I was like, the damn Dodgers didn't play here. The Giants, the New York Giants didn't play here. What is this crap? What is this crap? Where's the Mets? Where's they didn't even have the Apple. The Apple's just gone. What's happening?
Had that big black wall. I was like, this isn't like
Yeah.
the vibrant,
Oh, you see the Jackie Robinson Rotunda? I don't care about this right now. Give me the Piazza Rotunda. Where's that? Right? Where is the grand single? Where's all the pictures of that? Where's John Franco? Where's all these greats? You don't see none of this stuff. It's just like, and then the fences. It was like 500 feet to center field. Like, what are we doing? They had to bring in the fences like twice.
Yeah, I think like 2 or 3 times they
Yeah.
brought it in, yeah.
It's just like, I was like, did you not think about this when you built it?
Especially like you would think like, okay, this is the team we're gonna have for the next couple years it takes to build.
Right.
We want to like build it around the players that we have. So we have like we have the bats. We want to build around the bats. So we have the pitching.
It was so crazy. Oh yeah, we want to build it around pitching. You ain't got none.
Yeah, that didn't come till.
Who are you building around?
Yeah. Even like when they had like the pitching, it was either like kind of like a surprise, like DeGrom was in that top pick.
Had it by accident.
It trades.
Yeah. Zach Wheeler. You got that because you traded Beltran. Yeah, to the Giants.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, come on now. You got Syndergaard because you had traded Dickey to the Rays or something like. What was that?
Jays.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. It's like, come on now, man. But anyway, moving on. Do you feel that the Mets are the best team in baseball right now?
Yeah. I was like thinking like I'm shocked that I wouldn't say not shocked I would say shocked that the division is kind of so uneven.
I love it.
Yeah. Obviously, but if you look at the team and people are like, oh, this is going to be, third place team, whatever it is, they're not the best team in baseball because they had like ESPN or whatever were saying, top 2 team in the league, whatever it was. Everyone's saying, no. But to kind of not have like the offense as they should have had majority of the season, once that offense, like now it's starting to click, but like once it fully clicks and the pitching continues, like it's gonna be crazy to see at the end of the year like how many wins that they have. Because what they haven't been for a long period of the season, the team that they should be.
Yes.
Like the pitching has carried them, but the offensive side
has not yet.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, that I'm telling you, man. Like once that starts to go, we're gonna have to make some tough decisions soon. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen with Jesse Winker. I just don't know if he has a place on this team. I don't know if obviously we talked about Marte last week, but if Winker's okay with just being a bench guy and getting some spot playing time here or there, that's good, but you gotta let these young kids play. Mauricio's really good. Like he has that. He's it. Like like Acuna is a good player, right? Vientos, good player. Alvarez, good player. That hit a bomb last game. But Mauricio has the it.
Yeah, he just has like the superstar look.
Yes. Like even when he hits the ball, it just sounds different. I always tell you that story about when the first time I heard Josh Hamilton hit a baseball. I dropped what I was doing to run to the TV, and I was like, who the hell hit that? Because the superstars, you can tell. You can just tell.
Yeah, even like his obviously like love for like when he came back, how emotional he was.
Yeah.
So to feel that, even though he was in the big leagues, he had his moment, but to kind of fight through the injuries and be back to where he was and killing it in AAA, you know, that just shows a lot that he obviously cares, and that just makes you excited.
Yeah.
Have, like a young talent, and then also who it's his whole world. Like he's gonna give everything.
Right.
You know, it's gonna be definitely exciting to see how his career, you know, goes and takes off. So.
I'm a big fan of Mauricio. So, you know, with that being said, send Viento to China now. So keep Beatty, right? And send Viento to Mars, because he better shape up. If he don't start hitting, because here's the thing, we talked about last week. Ronnie's better defensively at this point. We don't know if he's better with the bat yet, but we know that Ronnie is more of a 5-2 player than Vientos is. So they have a problem, but it's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
Because if you do say that, okay, we want to keep Ronnie, then now you have to find a home for Vientos, and you can probably get a good, decent player back for a guy that's major league ready, depending on who you're looking for. Right? So, you know, I am curious to see what happens. I'm curious to see how Mendy ends up playing everybody. You know, when they come back, even like Jose Siri. What happens with Jose Siri?
It's like when you look at it, like how much is missing from, you know, opening day, but the team has just been like not really noticing that they're gone because the team has been fine and winning games. But
the deadline is approaching too, right? Isn't it like in the next 2 weeks?
It's July. No,
is it?
It's end of July.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, so we still have a couple weeks, but you know, when Vientos comes back, when Winker comes back, you're gonna have 3 DHs. Like you can't.
You don't need 3 DHs. Yeah.
So you have someone has to go.
Yeah.
You have Marte, Winker, and.
Well, Marte
Vientos.
definitely needs to go, but it's like you have to find the right place for him. You just don't want to dump him somewhere. You want to give him a chance to be able to compete. Like if that were me, if I was Stearns, I would want to send him somewhere where he can actually have a chance to get playing time and help a culture, because he's done a lot for the Mets. Like from the time that he signed, things were different. Like the team just felt different. Like, okay, we're serious now. You know what I mean? When you bring in a guy like that as a professional guy, no nonsense, but he's a great clubhouse guy. Always has been, right? There's value in that. So although, there's no real playing time like that significantly for him, I would be okay to keep him just because of the mentorship that he has with Juan Soto. Like Juan loves him, right? And when you have young players, you can't just have a crop of young guys and some, you know, not old guys, but guys that are a little bit in between. You need some veteran guys that kind of just be there to help them go along. So that's why for me, it's like, maybe you don't trade him. Maybe you just leave him. I mean, his deal is prorated at this point anyway. So it's like, if you find a good deal, cool, whatever. But I would be okay keeping him as well, because he does so much more for the guys that are here. Being a mentor and making sure that guys are on the straight and narrow. So
yeah, you don't really want to mess with that, obviously, at this point, like, because that can shift the whole culture.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we saw what Verlander and that Scherzer nonsense did for the team. It shattered us, right? All because they never fit. They never fit. They came in, oh, Mets giving out bags. Go, no, you don't belong. Okay? You don't belong.
That's like, I feel like that was like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
That was a couple of years ago.
It should have never happened. It should have never happened. Okay? I never want to hear it again. That Max Scherzer was a Met. It never happened. It never happened. That's a national. He's a national. He won a World Series with them. We don't care. And then the other guy, you are an Astro. Get out of here.
He like really wasn't a Met. He was there for 5 games.
Yeah, you never played here.
Yeah.
The only thing that was good about you was when your wife came here, she was in the Met hat. That was great. Outside of that, we don't care. We don't care. So yeah. Moving on. I have a question for you. Since you are a baseball fan like myself, we're gonna play this scenario. You are the president of baseball operations for whatever team, let's say the Mets. And you have a sure thing. This is a perennial go-to thing that you're going to always have, but you have to choose one. But you have to give me a why. Would you rather have the league leader in home runs every year? Or would you rather have the RBI leader every year?
Just at the end of the day, when you like on paper, you're looking, okay, what's helping the team more? Like it'll be the RBIs. You're producing more runs. That's just like that aspect only. Because you could have 50 home runs, but say 80 RBIs, whatever. Like you don't know how it could be all, just solo home runs, or, sometimes guys get on base and they're producing more, but it's just hard because, like, the home run could also be good if you're coming in clutch moments and, winning the game, whatever it may be, but I said just, like, on paper, what is producing for the team more would be the runs. So
yeah, I mean, good answer. That's what I went with as well, is that I would rather have somebody who's driving in, because you got to remember, right? History always is kind to the all-around hitter. We've had guys that hit 23 home runs and drove in 140. So you can, like you said, you can hit 40 home runs and don't have to drive in 100. It's about the quality more than the quantity of the home runs. So give me a guy like Juan Soto that can be able to hit 30, but he's going to walk 170 times. And he's going to drive in close to 100. He's more valuable than a guy that's going to hit 47 home runs and 110 RBIs and then bat 215. You know what I'm saying? So you have to think about what are the building blocks for a team that's going to be beneficial. Somebody who's going to be a table setter every year that I can be able to pencil in as being the league leader in RBIs. That means that my team is going to be very good with runners in scoring position every year. Just because you have this high level of run producer in your lineup. If you got a guy like that bats third or cleanup, you're going to drive in a lot of runs. So that's why the RBI should always be the answer. Depending on who you speak to, it might vary, but it should always be the answer if you're trying to build the prototypical run-producing baseball team. It has to be the RBI guy.
yeah, like it could be. I feel like, for a lot of teams, typically, home run leader is RBI leader, but it's not always the case. Like we had Pete Alonso last year was the league leader on the team and only had 80-something RBIs, and you had Brandon Nimmo who had a horrible second half, and he had more RBIs than him. So, but it's just like coming in those moments and producing the runs, scoring the runs is what matters most. So
yeah. It's all about timely hitting.
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes a team special. Timely hits.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have guys out there that hit solo shots all the time, but do they help the team much? Not really.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say they don't. They runs, but you'd rather drive in guys than just hit solo shots all the time because you know you tend to have an anemic offense if everything is just now. If you're having 5, 6, 7 solo shots a game, okay, cool, but that's not the norm. That's not what happens in baseball. You need to make sure that you're not leaving guys on base. You're driving guys in. You have a high 350 average with runners in scoring position instead of being in the low twos. So you want to have somebody that can be able to, as soon as you know that they're coming, okay, cool. Pitchers have a decision to make. They can either walk him or try to make it difficult and keep it within a single so the damage is not so crazy. So yeah, it's definitely going to be the RBI guy. So good answer, because if you picked something else, I would have excommunicated you. Get out.
Get kicked out.
Out. No dummy. Again, you know, I am happy. You know what? No, I am gonna have a dummy.
Dummy, yeah.
The NL East. The NL East is my dummy. Mm-hmm. Just a week ago, you had everybody say, "Oh my God, there's the Phillies. They're so hot. Beating all these teams. They're 4 games up on the Mets. Oh, people making fun of the Mets. You got big head Michael K still talking about us. I don't know why. I don't even know why he's showing up to Citi Field in one of these days. Like, why? Clickbait man. Anyway. Oh, the Phillies. Oh, they're so good. Phillies have lost 9 of 10. Mm-hmm. Love it. The Braves are 10 games below 500. This is a great time to be a Mets fan. To have those 2 teams going in the wrong direction. I love it. Mm-hmm. I love it. I hate the Phillies. The only time that I ever rooted for the Phillies was when they had Ryan Howard. I was a big Ryan Howard fan. Loved him. And then when they got Bryce, I was like, why I gotta root for them now?
Yeah.
Because I like Bryce Harper. But outside of that, I was disgusted in 2009 when I had to root for the damn Yankees to win the World Series. Because they're going against the Phillies. Couldn't do it. It was horrible. Mm. So I hate the Phillies. The Braves, hate them. And anything that has to do with them being bad and miserable makes my heart sing. Mm. I hate the Braves. And the fact that I see poor Ronald Acuna over there in prison, let him free, okay? Go somewhere else and be happy. Don't be on this stupid organization anymore that gaslights and lies to people, all right? We don't care. But that's my dummy, because those teams, the Braves, the Phillies, they never talk about the Mets. Even when we're supposed to be good, we always less than them. Mm-hmm. Now what? Now what? Mm-hmm. Huh? Now we got people, we might think the Mets are the best team in the league. What gave it away? I've been saying this from the start. Mm-hmm. We don't care about no damn Braves. We don't care about no Phillies. And we damn sure don't care about no Dodgers. Dodgers better hope they don't play us in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And they better hope that it's early. Because if we get back to the NLCS, we're going to the World Series. I'm telling people right now.
Yeah.
We're going to the World Series.
It's just, like, I would say, like, just them, like, winning the series. Like, they've only lost, I think, fully, like, 2 series in the whole
Yeah, remember we
season?
beat them. We beat them in City.
Yeah.
2-1.
Yeah.
And then we split the 4-game series with them. Yeah. So we got the tiebreaker right now.
So just to see what's to come for this team as well. Like, even I'm interested to see what they're gonna do on the trading deadline. But yeah, it's just very interesting turn of events, because before the season like started, honestly, like, it could have been any team for second and third, like very, very close division.
Yeah.
But you know, obviously it's not the case at the moment. So
Yeah, and with that, this is how we're going to end the show because the cream always rises to the top.
The cream, yeah. The cream of the crop. And there is no one that does it better than the Macho Man Randy Savage. On balance, off balance, doesn't matter. I'm better than you are, yeah. And I'm talking to everyone in the World Wrestling Federation. And I'm even talking to President Jack Tunney, yeah.
I'm talking to you.
I'm on my way.
Right.
And nothing
Talking to you.
is gonna stop me. Nothing's gonna stop me.
That's it. That's how we end the show. So until next week, stay safe, stay cool. Peace. Mess of the best. We don't care. We out of here, Silence House. Mess of the best.